All right, welcome back. It's been a very busy week, and quite frankly, it's so good to get beyond Brown and Bell. Although before we do, one more opportunity to talk about Bell, because since we last convened, which is Sunday, we saw Le'Veon Bell get a deal. Paul Zeise, he still maintains that this was the right play for him. Was it?
I'm glad that that's what he is trying to put a good spin on it. And the bottom line is, the say is that he got $26 million guaranteed, and we have none, and we're all sitting here broke. I mean, if that's your argument for why he won this, you need a new argument. I mean, there's no other way to say it. He hoped to set the market for the running backs. He hoped to break the bank with guaranteed money. He hoped to be all of this other stuff, and none of it came to fruition. And on top of it all, he's on a horrible team that he said he'd never play for. But yeah, other than that, he won.
Speak for yourself, Paul. My rate for this show is $26 million per appearance, so I have that kind of money. I defended the guy for a couple of reasons. I never felt like he was some poisonous person. The trolling on social media and all that, whatever, that's typical. But I thought his was a matter of, hey, I don't want to play. I'm not under contract. I never had an issue with Bell. I was sort of hoping against hope because I wanted to see the player win here, that he would be proven right. And when he got when it was first reported as $35 million from the Jets, I said, all right, that's a couple more million than the Steelers were offering in that contract a couple years ago. Maybe you don't play on the franchise tag because if you get hurt, are you going to get anywhere near this offer? The minute I heard it was $26 million for the Jets, Jets, last, probably, I thought, man, what a horrible miscalculation. Him saying, oh, yeah, this is still the right move for me, is what do you do? You buy a lemon and you can't take it back to the dealership? Like, what do you do there, right? So you just tell yourself you got the right car that you wanted all along when you know, like everyone else knows, that you got a clunker.
Oh, Chris, you used the word poisonous, and I think it's pretty clear that Antonio Brown, maybe he hasn't always been that way, but he has become a poisonous person and a poisonous teammate. I don't really have that impression with Le'Veon Bell. In my limited dealings with him, I always kind of liked him. I don't think he's a bad kid. I think he's very impressionable. I think his agent was an absolute idiot who actually admitted that he didn't know the rules. So there was an interview with ESPN the other day where Le'Veon Bell said, oh, we found out week 7 or week 8 that actually I didn't have to play. Like, my God, maybe hire a new agent next time. It's kind of a shame, though, because he is a great player. He really could have gone down to me as an all-time great Steeler with a lot more money in the bank than he's going to end up with. It's because he didn't know the rules. He listened to too many people on the outside. It's just a shame. I don't think he's a bad person, but I think he got a lot of bad advice. And now all of a sudden he's a 27-year-old running back who's had some major injuries, who's been suspended twice. When you think about it, I wouldn't have given him the guaranteed money that maybe he could have gotten a couple of years ago either.
C.J. Anderson cost him some money too, I think,
yes.
And Todd Gurley. Gurley getting hurt kind of was the cautionary thing because he was clearly not himself. And then when C.J. Anderson can come off the couch with a beer gut and look like, I'm serious.
Yeah,
we all saw what the guy looked like. He's 5'9", about 240, and he looked like he was the freshest. He was fresh as a daisy. Why would you pay Le'Veon Bell a ton of money if you can just go on the scrap heap?
There are a ton of examples of that. You look at, Kareem Hunt gets released. Their running game didn't miss a beat. Look at Baltimore. There are guys out there, and I think that overriding, thought out there really lessened the market for Le'Veon Bell, and he learned his lesson. He was trying to get money he was never going to get, and it was a bad decision. All right, so we've obviously closed the chapter on Antonio Brown. Paul, I want to ask you about Gary Harris, because he seems to, and this has been jump on Ben Roethlisberger week from all areas. National media, specifically to me, people who are friends of Antonio Brown have gone after Roethlisberger. Do you think there's any validity to that? And Gary Harris, of all people, I didn't even know who he was when he first tweeted this, that he actually accused Ben Roethlisberger of purposely fumbling a football.
Wait, isn't it Josh Harris?
I was going to say,
is that how anonymous he is?
I don't know who Gary Harris is
Josh
either.
Harris, Gary Harris.
Gary Harris plays for Michigan State, but he thought Ben fumbled too.
The funny thing is here, Josh Harris is a guy that played one season, who played, maybe like 8 or 9 games or something. Here's the problem I have with his whole story, because, again, we all know that Ben does things sometimes that he deserves criticized for. He doesn't always, he's not always a great teammate and leader and all that other stuff. But I find it amazing that one guy is the only guy that has this story, and he's a player that's really an obscure player that was around one season, and he decides the only time he decides to bring it out is when it's let's bag on Ben week among the national media. So to me, it's a suspicious story. I'm not saying Ben is above it because we all, like I said, we all know that Ben does some things that sometimes aren't in the best interest, I think, of the team. But I have a hard time buying this one.
We all live in the Twitter era and the social media era, and everything goes viral. I feel like Josh Harris is hoping that his video is going to go viral so that the next tweet he can send is, oh, by the way, check out my SoundCloud or something like that, like one of those deals that drive people to his accounts. Man, I remember Chuck Jacoby was like an irrelevant Steeler who kept trying to find relevance after the fact, and this just, listen, I've been as critical on Ben or towards Ben as virtually anybody in this city, I feel like. And I can't bring myself to care 1 ounce about whatever Josh Harris is saying about anything, whether it got smoke there, fire there. I don't care. What was it, 5 years ago?
Yeah, out of the blue.
Well, first of all, we're going to call him Gary Harris from this point forward.
I would call him whatever
Can we just make up whatever? Yeah, he could be Chris Harris.
And nobody would realize the difference.
And here's what I don't understand. When I hear James Ferrier or Joey Porter or Casey Hampton come out and take shots at Ben, I'll take it more seriously. It's interesting to me that guys who have won with him have nothing bad to say about him, but players in recent years do. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's a generational thing. For whatever reason, I don't think he mixes well with the younger guys. But if I were Ben Roethlisberger, who I admit is no saint and who has had his issues, we all know what they are. If I were Ben, I would be absolutely furious by the way the media has treated him the last couple of months, the national media.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, we're going to continue more Steelers stuff when we come back, but right now it's time to go round the horn for this week's Smooth Moves, brought to you by Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you're going to find anywhere, Armina Stone. So we asked our panelists to go and give us the smoothest move of the week. It doesn't have to be local, it can be national. Start with you, Josh.
Sarcasm smooth move of the week, NHL with about a 10-minute replay, a double challenge. Tonight it ended up in a no-goal. Offside should not be reviewable anymore because too many linesmen call everything offside because they don't want to be embarrassed at screwing up the game.
Smooth move, Sidney Crosby. You've been the Penguins' best player by far all year, but tonight somebody turned off the old controller while you were hunting for an empty net goal, and it cost your team a point. Very smooth, Sid.
The cynical side of me would say Josh Harris because somehow, amazingly, he got us to talk about him, and nobody even knows who he is. But
check out that
I will
SoundCloud.
use it for this. The Robert Morris women, the saving grace of Division I basketball in this area. They win today against St. Francis to get to the NCAA tournament. So we aren't completely shut out of the NCAA tournament. We do have one team, Charlie Biscaglia and Robert Morris. Congratulations.
Yeah, also on that note, smooth moves too to IUP and all the work they've done, both the men's and women's. Combined 59-5, I think. Best mark of any college duo in the country, no matter what level. So those are the smooth moves of the week, brought to you by Armina Stone, who features Pittsburgh's largest indoor stone gallery, granite and marble countertops, imported from all over the world to give you the smoothest countertops in your area. You could score a touchdown with new granite countertops right now from Armina Stone. More Steelers next.